few videos ago, I tried to answer the burning question, who sells the best pots? I went to Costco, Home Depot, and Lowe's. I got a comment saying Walmart has some great pots. So we're gonna go inside, take a look at what they have in stock for the garden, and of course, check out their pots. First up, we have Burpee, really good company, $1.96 a pack. We have radishes, these grow super fast. Then some basil, spinach, squash of all kinds, both zucchini and yellow summer squash, carrots, winter squash, so much. I can't even name them all. Lots of different varieties too. And then on this side, flowers. Oh, there's like a whole section of flower seeds. This is the organic side, so it's $2.46 if you want to have organics. It is a little bit more, but not by much. You can see carrots, beets, beans, cantaloupe, tomatoes, cucumbers, radishes, squash, everything. And then on this side, these are regular non-organic, but corn, carrots, cucumber. Look at all the different lettuces here, snow peas, snap peas, pumpkins, all of that. Lots to grow from seed, even some Asian veggies, lots of carrots to choose from. And then right next to Burpee is the end cap. You have seed starting mix. So this will be a fluffier, lighter mix so it can accept the seeds and let them grow. At the very top, you have Back to Roots, you have Jiffy, there's grow lights, greenhouse kits, all of these, whatever your heart's desire to start seeds, it's here. And let's look at some pricing. So this is a Pro Hex kit, 72 cells for $8.97, not too bad. And then this is 72 peat pellets. You just need to add water. And then it's $11.88. And some lights, labels, gnat trap. These are just mixes that all you have to do is spread them. You don't even have to plant. Some seed packets. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know this company myself, but this is 30 heirloom seed packets in here. Small business for $30. So it's $1 a pack. This one is medicinal herbs. That's an interesting offer. And then, sorry, this is my coffee. This is one of my favorite coffees. It's like a Vietnamese coffee with the sea foam cream on top. But anyway, when I'm drinking this, it means business. There's cocoa core. Soak it in water, it expands, and then it's great to start your seeds in. There are no nutrients in it. The seeds don't need anything right away, but let's see what's in here. It has, so you soak it in water and then you can use it right away. So it looks like it's just 100% cocoa core. It's $4. You got some more seed pots, pellets. Here's Miracle-Gro. I'm actually really curious what your opinion of Miracle-Gro is because I don't use it for veggies or anything like that typically, but I do know a lot of houseplant people have great success with it. So I'm just curious, drop it in the comments how you feel about Miracle-Gro, maybe the product, maybe the reputation of the company. I'm just curious how you feel. Okay, so let's move on to what else they have. There's a lot of options here. Some of the things that I use in my garden. Let me flip this. I've never seen, I don't know this brand, but this is bone meal. I do like it when it's single source because this one is really good for blooms and you can give it a boost if you know that that's what your garden needs. This is really nice when you just need a general purpose. So it's N, P, and K, and it's just a really good starter or a quick boost. Same with this one, it's just the same amount of nutrients across concentration. This one has extra phosphorus, so it's gonna give you better blooms on this one. And up here we have, I know a lot of people like to use Osmocote, And then there's some Epsom salt if your plants need it. I haven't had to use that. I love Espoma. I use rose tone and plant tone. I have also used tomato tone. It's a small business, family owned. The ingredients are just really great. You can see it tells you what they'll show you for garden beds, for individual plants, and then new plantings versus established plantings, potted plants, tomato grow tips, and you can see there's all these other options that they also sell. And you can see since 1929. So company is almost 100 years old. And over here you can see exactly what it's made out of. Natural ingredients, feather meal, poultry meal, bone meal, alfalfa meal, green sand, sulfate of potash, and sulfate of potash magnesia, slow release nitrogen. There's no chemicals, really good. If you're looking for mycorrhizae, I've used these. This is really good. I like that it's a sprinkle top. This is about kind of how much mycorrhizae will cost you. Oh, if you need soil acidifier or something to make it less acidic, you can use garden lime, and that's what those are for. That's for the pool, so we're gonna skip that. And then over here, there's some Dr. Earth. I'm not familiar with Arizona's best, but citrus and palm food right there. Alaska, I've used as well, fish fertilizer. Doesn't smell great, but the plants love it. And then, oh, here's a dibber for spacing. There's plant labels, worm castings here. That one is vermiculite. Oh, then there's a big one that's for citrus tone. And then here, there's some fertilizer spikes. I don't use the fertilizer spikes because I have dogs and I don't trust my dog to not pull it out and just leave it in the ground. So I tend to buy different fertilizers like that plant food that is all organic. So if my dog does eat it, they're fine. And I spread it around and work it in, water it in. Don't let my dogs out there for a little bit and then let them out there. Okay, so I don't use these products, but there is one I have tried, and that one is here, Spruce. My friend Camille works with them. Let me flip this around. So Spruce is supposed to be all natural, and here are the ingredients right here you can see. And it's safe for pets, people's, and bees. It's a weed and grass killer. Now, this is the big bottle, and I think this part is, so I think this part is reusable, and I think you just like replace the container with I think you can just buy another one of these and then pop this on. But here is the spray bottle. There's another one of a similar easy aim, and then here's a spray. But this one I've used, it works decently, but if you have really hard grass, so yeah, I've used this one and it works pretty well. I don't know about these personally. Let me know how you feel about them. I tend not to use any of that. Try to keep as few chemicals as possible in my garden. I know sometimes that's not possible depending on what you're dealing with. So it's not a judgment zone, but I'm very curious how you feel about those companies and using those products. I know some gardeners don't mind and others are organic only. Oh, same for all of these. Let me flip this and show you what I use and what I'm kind of okay with. Okay, so from the top, there's neem oil right there. This one looks like an insecticidal soap right there, copper fungicide. I've used all of these three as needed. I've not used any of these or those down below. So this is all for more insect control. I just want to focus in on stuff that I use. I don't want to talk badly about any products that I haven't had direct experience with, etc. I'd love to know what you think. I personally, here, let me grab this. So this is neem oil. I actually try to avoid neem oil because I don't like the taste or the smell of neem oil. It does work. You do have to be careful when you apply it. Apply it at night or right before nighttime when there's no wind, when you don't have a heat wave. The sun in Southern California is really, really intense. So if this is on there, even if it's the next day, your leaves could burn. Now, ornamental plants might be able to take it a little bit better, but veggies tend to be, especially annuals, are a little bit more sensitive. And for things like lettuce that you eat the leaves of, this stuff doesn't wash off and you can't scrub it off. So I don't like the taste. It comes in spray format. And then we have the rose one. This one, it looks like it's basically neem oil, but it's for whiteflies, aphids, powdery mildew, and spider mites. So you can tell active ingredient right there. I don't know if you can see there. Active ingredient is neem oil. So basically this is the same product. It's $6.24. And let's see. Yeah. And this one is also neem oil. So make sure you're looking at the label. Okay. Now copper fungicide. This one's really good. I use it sparingly. There's black spot, powdery mildew, downy mildew, and early blight. That's what it's known for right there. And this is only $5.66 at Walmart. Sometimes, if it's bad, we'll use insecticidal soap. Not often though. And this one is for spider mites, whiteflies, aphids, thrips, and it lists 30 other ones. So that one's a good one. This one is concentrate. So if you want more bang for your buck, you can buy this, put it in your own spray bottles. But this has spinosad in it and kind of detrimental to the environment. So use very, very sparingly. But this one is dead bug. Oh yeah, here. This is the spray. So if you're dealing with leaf miners, spider mites, bagworms, tent caterpillars, codling moths, that's what this one is for. I don't really use this, although I do know it's very effective. I have leaf miners and I kind of just let them be because it doesn't hurt the plant. It's unsightly, it's not cute. I'd rather not have that in my garden, even though this is okay for organic gardening. Just less is better that's my preference. So I came to Walmart because someone said they had really good pots. So let's take a look. All right, so these are ranging about $3 to $8 at the top. There's different styles, different materials. So that's plastic for $8. That's all plastic up there. Those look like they're ceramic. A lot of different styles. These are definitely smaller pots. Here's my hand for reference. I think these are definitely more indoor pots, and as you get down below, some of these can be indoor, outdoor. I really think this is cute. This is $15. It's a Better Homes and Garden planter, and it could be indoor or outdoor. And then this one is kind of neat for a more natural look. This is a ceramic retro. Ooh, this is cute, a little wave pattern. But I don't really have an application myself for this because I don't really do very many houseplants, but I think there's a lot of options. I think there's some more pots outside, but let's just look at the tools real quick. What I would and wouldn't get from here. Okay, so these are only 97 cents. So this could be really good as a easy, cheap trowel. I've never really had to use a cultivator. This I wouldn't get because the metal option would be better than this plastic. But for a trowel, no big deal. I think plastic is fine. Here's a weeder. Oh, this one is better. This is $4.97, but it's got the serrated edge, which I think is really nice when you're digging for cutting through roots and stuff. So this is a steel hand trowel, digging, scooping, turning soil and compost. So I think that one's a good buy for $5. I don't need one, so I'm putting it back. But if you are starting out and you need a trowel, not bad. If you're on a limited budget, this, let's take a look at this multi-purpose knife. Looks pretty good. This is not as serrated as I would like, but it's still pretty sharp right here. It's marked in inches, so when you're digging, you know how deep you're digging. There is a little twine cutter right there. It's not bad for a $6 hori type knife. That one at the edge, you could probably weed some stuff with that tip if you take off the plastic. And here is an adjustable bulb planter. So I tend to just drop my bulbs in instead of really placing them carefully. So I don't need this. I think this is a nice to have, but you do have to like squeeze this to release. You dig and release like that. This one I would probably skip for $5. I don't think it's a must-have, and it's a little bit hard to use with your hand. What is this? Ooh, an all-in-one sharpener. Interesting. Here's some Fiskars. So I would prefer, even though this is a lot more expensive, because we're looking at a 97-cent piece of plastic or this metal. If you really want one of these, I would go with the metal. You'll be happier, it'll last you longer. Okay, I can't get this back on. Whoever stocked this had a hell of a time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you got some gloves, pretty standard issue. They're $12.97. Here's some Fiskars pruners. Now there's always a ton of pruner options. Like, what should you get? I think everyone needs a set of pruners. Now this is a 5/8 inch cut capacity. So it's showing you can cut some shrubs and trees. This one has a 3/4 inch, so it can cut a little bit bigger. This is so definitely higher duty. It's titanium, but this is $15, this is $14. And then this is a smaller one. This is all steel, this one is not, so that is just the difference between those two. And $12.97, $14.42, so it depends on your budget. These ones are micro snips. I do love a good micro snip, but if you can only buy one, I would probably just go with something like this, because you can cut things up to 5/8 of an inch, and also you can cut smaller things. You can use household scissors if you don't have a micro tip, but I would still get a micro tip because these are great. Here are some other bypass pruners. These are a little bit less pricey, but I don't know this brand at all. What I would do is do your best and give them a shot, see how you feel, how it feels in your hand. I'll put a link in below with the ones that are my favorite. They're a Japanese brand that I found on Amazon. Here's some gloves. The gloves are about $2 a piece, so it's not bad. Probably keep your hands dry, nothing too special. I really don't like these ones, but I guess this is for palm gloves. If you are dealing with really prickly, they are thicker, but dexterity wise, these are so hard to use for me. And then down below you have different shears, and again, something like this is going to last you a long time, and it's titanium. If you take care of it, lasts you a lifetime. And here I prefer Fiskars because I know them, but maybe if you've had good experience, let me know in the comments with these other ones, because this is only a $10 shear. That's a $35 shear. Same with these loppers, like that's $10.88. This one is $19.97, but you can extend it. That one is $35, but you can extend it. So it really just depends on your budget. And then here's some cute decor. Doesn't really fit my garden style, but it's cute. I do love puppy dogs though. It's like a little fun golden retriever. And then this one right here. Oh, cute. A little $15 garden gnome. This is kind of cute because I'm coastal, but I don't really have these types of tchotchkes in my garden. but maybe I would come towards the end of season and see if they're still here or marked down. It'd be fun to hide those in the school garden. I was not expecting this much stuff here at Walmart. I don't know why. Maybe it's maybe because it's spring, everything is just fully stocked. Normally I don't even come to Walmart, but I was in the area and this place is 30 minutes away from my house. It's not super convenient for me to just pop in, but I wanted to see what's here. Okay, so here's some seed starting mix. There's a lot of hoses. Now, I have never met a hose that I absolutely love, but I am partial to, I don't have this brand. I have I think it's Bullet ones. It's the expandable style. I tend to use the expandable style because they're easy to put away. I don't like these really hard rubber ones. I tend to leave mine out in the California sun and they inevitably melt. But these expandable ones have done really well for me. They last a while. So do with that what you will. But here are some manifolds and irrigation supplies. You know what? I'm not going to go over irrigation in this video because I think that would be too deep and not everyone wants to know all about irrigation. Let me know in the comments if you want me to go through what the options are here in terms of irrigation. We can even go to an irrigation store and I can tell you about irrigation. But yeah, I think this is more of a what's here at Walmart, what to look out for at your own Walmart and for the garden. We'll skip through irrigation supplies. You can see there's a whole section here. I'm not familiar with this brand, so I don't want to say too much about it. But yeah, maybe we need an irrigation video. Let me know if you want that. Okay, so here are some more pots. They looked like Veridec, and I looked inside, and they are by Sunshine by Veridec. So this must be a line that is more affordable inside Walmart and other retailers. It's $17.97. This is a decent size for the look and the price, and it's pretty strong. It looks like it's a 12-inch. So I tend to knock my pots. Then over here, self-watering 11-inch. This is what it looks like. This is definitely a thinner wall. I'm not a huge fan of that thin wall, but those are $8. Then over here, there's a lot of different bird feeders. This one's kind of cute, this color. But, oh, this one is glass. I love how dainty those are. But you do have to make sure that they're washed really well, or you can actually make the hummingbirds sick. So here, there's bird seed. I actually need to set up my bird feeder, but lots of bird feeder options here. And then lighting options, solar lighting, and we're looking at anywhere between $14 for a 6-pack or $7 a piece. Those are $15 a piece, but at least you don't need hard wiring. These ones are cap lights, and then these are step lights. So lots and lots of different options here. Okay, I just stepped outside and they have the Ferry-Morse seeds right here. So here are a bunch of flowers, $1.96 a piece. Herbs, veggies. There's some more. These are non-GMO. Corn, and some veggies right there. And then I think this turns, yeah. And there's even more on this side. Lots and lots of flowers. So here's some landscaping materials, like you might need some landscaping pins to pin things down, edging. So borders, edging, those things aren't the fun part. I know most people just want to see plants and pots and the prettier stuff. So if you have questions about those, let me know. I am a garden designer. I do know a decent amount about the not fun stuff for gardening. And so let me know what questions you do have. Okay, and in front of me, there's some really pretty plants, a really good selection. Let me show you. So this is the Torrance Walmart Garden Center. Here's some shade plants or indoor house plants. They would do well in either application. And this one's really pretty. So is that one. These ones need some water. And then we got orchids right there, some potting mix. That's the Miracle Grow potting mix. And then over here, you can see a really nice and pretty selection. They've done a really good job merchandising this. I've been here before and it wasn't this nice. And on this side, all the bare root roses are here. Oh look, they have an Eden climbing rose for $12.88. And, ooh, there's a hole. Let's see if we can peek inside. Okay, it's looking pretty good on that Eden. The shape is pretty good. This is do not break down, so you're not allowed to open these yet. So, but they're here. I'm sure this week they're gonna open this up. Just do not break down, but we can see, so we're talking Fireworks, Sexy Rexy, Dark Night, Blaze Red, Eden, Royal Gold. And then there's a bunch of different ones. They're all different. And then down there, Lagerfeld is really pretty. Hot chocolate I have. I actually have a lot of roses. I'm not allowed to buy any more. I tend to collect things. I go through phases, but roses and dahlias are one of those where I've collected a lot and I've cut myself off. So let me flip this and you can see it's not the best selection for plants. Maybe they're waiting for more plants, but let me just show you what plants there are. So I showed you that. Now, my friend Natalie is in Utah and she works with Olson's Nursery, and they always have the best plants at their local Walmarts and Home Depots and all those centers. And then I go to mine and let me just show you. This is what I get to pick from at Walmart. I'm hoping it's just I've caught them between loading them up, but just some succulents. That's it. Right here. I mean, the succulents look good. Look how pretty. They don't even look real, but these ones are real. They look so pretty. Right there. That's it. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I have a bit of a bone to pick with this type of thing. Why are we gluing a plastic ball onto the top of a cacti? Like, it's glued on. This is not the normal flower. These may be flowering. I'm not that familiar with cacti, but look at this right here. Let me show you this one. This drives me insane. So this one is a purple cactus, and you can see there's little flowers ready to bloom. There's buds in there. There's tons of buds in there. But instead, for merchandising, we're going to stick a plastic flower on top. Why? Why do we do this? And look at this pink one. There's actual real flowers on there, but instead we want to stick a plastic ball on top when there's tons of little flowers coming. So, and it's sold $5.97 for a cactus with decorative flower. Why do we need this decorative flower when it flowers on its own? So anyway, that's my rant. If you love those, I want to know why you love those. We're just adding more plastic into the environment. That's not necessary. I'm not anti-plastic, but I am anti-waste. So I'm curious if you bought those before, why you bought it, and I don't know. That is, like, I have very few things that I would rant about. That is one of them. So, okay, let me show you. There is one other display of plants, and that's it here. That's it. That's all I got. No other plants. So there's rosemary at $14 for a 1 gallon, $10 for oregano, peppermint, more oregano, some tomatoes. These are $18 and they have a head start. Then there's some arugula, spinach, lettuce, some herbs over there. So here, and if you saw my last video, I just told you there's not a whole lot I rant about. This is another one. So this is $5.94 for 6 plants. There might be more than 1 plant per hole, but that's it for romaine. You can buy more romaine. than that, I wouldn't buy this. I would buy a packet of seeds and grow lettuce from seeds. I personally don't think lettuce is worth it to grow from seedlings. One, because they're easy to grow. Two, you're just not getting very much from a 6-pack of lettuce. So anyway, rant over, moving on. I don't do a whole lot of lawn, so we weren't talking about lawn care. I actually don't have a lawn, so I'll let someone else who has a lawn and knows a lot more about lawns tell you about that. They have, it looks like Expert Gardening and Miracle-Gro as their soil options here. I'm not familiar with any of them. They also have Scott's for topsoil. I'm in the process of making a soil video, like the soil that I use and also what options are. I'll break it all down in one video. But here are the exterior pots. I do see some that I like, actually a lot of them. They're really pretty and they're a decent size. Let's get a closer look at how much they are. Okay, so starting here, there's some block pots. Nothing too fancy, pretty standard. There's some terracotta, big terracotta. Those are $25 a piece. Then these are plastic. This is the same as the inside. Really thin wall. I personally would probably skip a planter like this because look, I can bend it like that. So longevity wise, probably not gonna last super long, but it's doable if that's all you have for budget. Now here, this is the Veradec, the Sunshine by Veradec, and it is a thinner wall than the regular Veradec. So these, you know, it's nice and sturdy. This is pretty large. It is 16 inches, so $32. Then there's some big pattern ones down below. Those are 22. And here, this one is kind of interesting. The Parker planter. I'm not gonna take them off because I'm not buying it, but I don't wanna mess with their display too much. But this one's kind of fun. A little fluted one. $17.97. It tells you where to punch some holes if you wanted to have drainage, or you could do pot in a pot if you're doing an indoor pot situation. And there's some with like a shell pattern. Here, this looks like a gray marble bleeding pattern. That's $14.97. If you wanted something a little bit taller, that's $12.97. I really do like these though. This Better Homes urn planter. And you put this hydrangea there, the way they have it looks so cute. And it's $30. And it looks like it's a 20 inch. So that's a pretty good size, I would say. Price too. And even those up there look really nice. Ooh, look at this one. It's like a concrete look, but it's very light. Like I'm just turning it with my fingers and they're actually double stacked. So this one is the Alder collection, $29.97. Oh, and it comes in this color as well. Ooh, and it comes in this darker color. It's really nice. And I'm not gonna lie, I really do like this collection, the Better Homes and Garden. Oh, what's this one? My Texas House. I don't know this one either, but it's another application. So these are black. If you live in a hot area, it might not be the best to use black because your roots will get heated up in the soil and in the pot. But if you have a shadier area or morning sun only, might be okay. But yeah, so they have like white to cream to brown and bronze. And then here is black, and then whoop, and then blue over there. And then there's even some other ones that are green. This is kind of fun if you like green. This one's really pretty. That's kind of unique. So that's $9.97. And then there's even like a wicker inspired. And then there's wine barrels. There's some more wine barrels. And more wine barrels down there. So I guess we're doing wine barrels this season. We're going in on wine barrels. Then here, this one is the My Texas House. Or I'm guessing that's what this is, the Tex. Oh yeah, my Texas house, that's what it says. But wicker style. So lots and lots of pots. This one, if you like the trough style, but this is a little bendy, so I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It's not, that's already warped and it's just sitting in the store. There's an urn there. That's the black Veridex. So from afar, in summary, you can see here are some of the standard simple pots, and then as you get more decorative, you can see there's a lot of options, but most of these are all under $40, especially even the big ones. Like that one is $39, that one is $28. That's a pretty good pot. I mean, let's take a closer look. 22 inches for $28. This is a pretty good option. I like that it's really light as well. It is Better Homes and Gardens, so that's great. That one's $40. So down there is the black and then the blue again. So I guess if I were gonna get a pot here, I would probably select the Better Homes and Gardens collection. I actually have some of those. I worked with them last year a little bit, and I have some of their pots. They're still holding up really well, and I like that they're light. I like that they're inexpensive. I know people have different opinions about plastic. If it is plastic that you can use season after season, I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, on this side, there's a lot of furniture. I won't go through all of these, but they do have some that are displayed out here that are kind of fun. Like there's a rocking chair set up right here. And then, I mean, I know a lot of people are dealing with mosquitoes this time of year, at least here in Southern California. So there's that mosquito netting, and it looks like it's a Better Homes and Garden gazebo for $500. Looks great, actually. It'd be really nice to just set that up. I don't have a spot for it, but if I did, I would definitely set up something like that. And then over here, mulch. I don't know about you, mulch is not one of those things I like to spend money on, but is so necessary and overlooked. And I promised I wasn't that picky and I didn't have that many opinions about what you do in your garden. But here we go again. The third one in this one video that I said I didn't have any. This is the third pet peeve. Why are people selling and buying dyed mulch? I don't get it. Like, don't do it, because you are trying to eliminate things from your garden and you're gonna put dyed materials in. It just doesn't make sense. Let's see. I looked at the contents of the bag and it says forest material and colorant, but it doesn't say what kind of colorant. And it also doesn't say you can use it around vegetable beds. So to me, that usually is like decorative only. Just skip the colored stuff. Figure out something else. I think less is more sometimes when it comes to that type of stuff. There is another bag over here that says all natural mulch. It's not open yet. It is Miracle Grow, but it does say organic, and it looks, if you can see it up there, it looks like just bark or chopped up wood. So all natural mulch. This, I would rather you buy that. So that's kind of it for this video. I've walked the whole garden center. There's some edging over there, there's furniture, and then on this side there's some soil. There's no plants right now at this location. Hopefully you get some plants soon. Maybe they're just on back order. And over there, there's all the pots and some house plants, some bare roots, but that's kind of it. Let me know if you saw anything you liked. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe so I can see you in the next video.